Thank you for coming today. Boy, those lights are bright, huh? All right, I figured it was brighter outside. So thank you for all coming today. Welcome to your tactical. We manufacture body armor and ballistic vests for all over the world out of this facility. So the men and women in our armed services and law enforcement and police, a lot of the product comes out of here. We're very glad to host this event today. I'm going to introduce our great governor, Doug Ducey.
Hello, good to see everyone. What a turnout, what a turnout. Thank you, Jason, and thank you to your entire team for hosting us today. Of course, I want to thank all of you for being here to support a leader who I am confident will be the next governor of our great state, Karrin Taylor Robson. And how fitting it is that we're here at Tier Tactical, one of Arizona's many successful businesses. And for those of you that don't know, Karrin is a successful business leader herself. She's helped create thousands of well-paying jobs here in the state and contributed to important projects that have helped shape our communities. I know Karrin well. I've known her for 30 years, and she will take the right approach as governor. She will fight day in and day out to promote economic opportunity and to help our communities grow. She will put you first. She will put the people of Arizona first. She will fight to make your lives better. She will work around the clock to ensure you can provide for yourself and your families. Karrin is hands down the best person to lead our state and fight for Arizonans. And this approach couldn't come at a more critical time. Under the Biden administration, Americans are experiencing skyrocketing inflation, which is the highest it's been in 40 years. An unsettling rise in crime, and the worst border crisis in over 2 decades. And Congress isn't any better. They're either spending money recklessly or doing nothing at all. It all goes to show that strong conservative leadership in states matters more than ever. And there's no question that Karrin Taylor Robson is a proven conservative who is ready to lead our state on day one. Karrin will stand up to Joe Biden and the radical left. She'll fight for your safety, your individual liberties, and your economic prosperity. She's a rock-ribbed conservative that is pro-life, pro-gun, and pro-wall. She didn't just arrive on the scene, and she doesn't make things up. She believes in what she preaches, and she will fight for it. Whenever we've needed a champion to ensure our kids are learning the right lessons in school, or fight for free speech and civil discourse on our college campuses, or preserve our Republican majority in the Arizona legislature, Karrin Taylor Robson was there. Yeah. Karrin didn't just convert to the Republican cause. She's been a GOP precinct committee woman for almost 30 years. She worked in the administration of Ronald Reagan, and given her background, there's no doubt that she will hit the ground running first day in office and get results for the men and women of this state. We're also honored to be joined by another strong leader who has consistently fought for Americans across the country, Vice President Mike Pence. If there's anyone who knows what conservative values and leadership looks like, it's Vice President Pence. As a former governor himself, he understands the skills and qualities someone needs to represent an entire state with diverse communities. He sees what we see in Karrin, a smart and capable leader that will continue to take our state to new heights. I want to thank Vice President Pence for being here, his wife Karrin for being here and supporting our Karrin Taylor Robson, because he knows she's the best candidate, and I'm confident that Arizonans across the state will feel the same come November. Vice President Pence and I know what it's like to lead a state. There are challenges coming that no one can see today, no matter how much you prepare. This is a job that comes with no instruction and no on-the-job training. But we can be confident that Karrin is ready, because she's been leading and working hard her entire life. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming the next governor of the great state of Arizona, Karrin Taylor Robson.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor Ducey. I appreciate your wonderful introduction and our decades-long friendship. I also want to thank Jason Beck of Tier Tactical for hosting us today. And of course, I want to thank our very special guest, Vice President Pence, for joining us, and even more, for being a model of courage and conservative leadership. I am humbled, and it is my great honor that each of you are here with me today for this big day, a very big day in the desert. Because between now and August 2nd, voters will be deciding what kind of state we want and the sort of future that we want for our children. I grew up here as a middle-class kid from Mesa, and I've been blessed to raise my own family here and start successful businesses right here in this great state that we all love. I got into this race because I want my kids and all of yours to have the same opportunities that I had. But it's getting harder and harder for Arizonans. Everywhere you turn, the state that we love and the conservative values that we hold dear are under attack. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have turned their backs on the Border Patrol and handed control of our southern border to the cartels. Illegal crossings are at their highest level ever. Meanwhile, the smugglers pump drugs and fentanyl into our neighborhoods, leaving a trail of death, destruction, and sorrow. It's a human tragedy, and it has to stop. Growing up, my family lived on a single income, and that's virtually impossible now. Arizona parents are forced to trade time with their kids for longer work hours and less job security. Joe Biden's failed policies have created the worst inflation in 4 decades, and the cost of basic necessities like groceries for your families and gas for our cars continue to go up and up. Stable jobs that sustained us for generations have been auctioned overseas, too often to China. In their places, we have gig work, side hustles, and families desperate to make ends meet. Even our schools have been turned over to the woke Marxists trying to indoctrinate our children. How vile is it to teach our children to hate our country and to teach them to resent each other based on their gender and their race? Elections have to be about more than problems, though. Arizona deserves solutions. So I make this pledge to you. As governor, I will secure our border. I have a tough 6-point plan that begins by calling our legislators into an emergency session on my very first day in office. I will surge the National Guard to the border, make sure local authorities have every resource they need, and partner with like-minded states to share intel and manpower, and defund sanctuary cities and finish the wall wherever we can. I have been honored to earn the support and the endorsement of the National Border Patrol Council, representing the brave men and women who put their lives on the line every single day for us. As governor, I will build on the economic successes of Governor Ducey and offer a helping hand to our working families who are suffering under the disastrous Biden-Harris administration. My plan will put surplus budget dollars to work, returning a portion of these dollars to their rightful owner, Arizona families. I will also continue to drive tax rates down, including income taxes, because I know, just as my mentor, Ronald Reagan, did, that families will always make better use of their own money than the federal government or the state government or any government. And finally, as governor, I will get left-wing politics out of our schools, period. When I am governor, our kids will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. They will learn to love this great country, and they will learn that, yes, 2 + 2 still equals 4. Our concerned parents aren't domestic terrorists, and the debate about critical race theory isn't some political drama. It is a fight for the soul of this nation. And thanks to Governor Ducey and our Republican legislative majority, Arizona has the strongest school choice law in the country. Thank you, Governor Ducey. The teachers' unions have declared its intention to get this statute repealed. I have a message for you: not on my watch. And I will fight to make certain that every Arizona family has the freedom to pick the right school for their children. Our kids deserve no less. Whether they're public schools, private schools, charter schools, home schools, micro schools, whatever they are, we will put parents back in charge of their kids' education, period. And yet there's a lot more work to do. We must address our water shortages, fix our schools, stand with our police, our service members, and our veterans, and build an economy that works for every Arizona family. And I know it's a full agenda, but I know that it can be accomplished with courage, conservative leadership, and a common set of goals. And I'll just leave you with this. My opponent has had a bit to say about me in recent months, particularly as our campaign has climbed in the polls, and now that the momentum is ours. You know, thank you. I don't often recognize who she's talking about. But what's different between the two of us is my conservative values run deep. They are essential to who I am, and everyone who knows me and my record knows this. I don't change political parties like an outfit you take on and off. And I have never traded political beliefs depending on what was popular or trendy. Kari Lake wasn't just a Democrat. She donated to Barack Obama, and she walked doors for Barack Obama, our country's most liberal, open borders, pro-abortion president until Joe Biden. But in 2016, when I, and like many of you in this room, were fighting to elect Donald Trump and Mike Pence, Kari Lake was posting on Facebook about her plan to allow 11 million illegal aliens to get a piece of paper allowing them to stay in this country indefinitely. Well, Kari, we've got a word for that. That's called amnesty. And more recently, you may have seen news coverage about a Not My President meme that Kari Lake posted on Facebook in January of 2017, just before the Trump inauguration, The meme suggested even to donate to Planned Parenthood as a form of protest against "Not My President." So what has become clearer to Arizona voters across this state is that Kari Lake discovered God, guns, and the GOP about 5 minutes before she decided to run for governor. And Arizona cannot allow a fraud in the governor's office. Arizona needs a proven leader who understands Arizona issues like transportation, water, economic development, education. This is not a job for somebody who needs on-the-job training. If you want to see what that looks like, look no further than Kamala Harris. It's not pretty. I will be the conservative fighter Arizona needs, and I will not let you down. I ask for your prayers, your support, and your votes. And with that, it is my great honor to introduce somebody that I've been grateful to get to know over the last couple years. Whether as the governor of Indiana or the vice president of the United States, Mike Pence has led and lived his conservative values. He shows what is possible with strength, integrity, and resolve. Boy, do we miss him in office right now. Please join me in welcoming Vice President Mike Pence.
Well, hello, Arizona. Wow, what a great day. It's great to be here with all of you with so many great friends, just 108 days away from a great Republican victory when we will win back the House, win back the Senate, and send Karrin Taylor Robson to the State House. I appreciate the kind words that my friends expressed, and I appreciate that introduction from Karrin, but I must tell you that the introduction I prefer is a little bit shorter. I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order, and I'm here because Arizona and America need Karrin Taylor Robson as the next governor of Arizona. I want to thank Jason Beck and the whole team here for this warm welcome. It is good to be back at this great and growing Arizona company. And I also have the special joy, as you could see when we arrived, of traveling today with my favorite person. She's a Marine Corps mom. She's a former Christian school teacher, and quite frankly, she was the best second lady the United States of America has ever had. Would you welcome my wife, Karrin Pence, back to Arizona? You know, our lives have changed a little bit since the last time we were together. We moved back to Indiana. I bought 5 acres and a pond. Got a John Deere lawnmower, 54-inch deck, 0-turn radius, 25 horsepower. Became a grandfather for the very first time. And that baby was born right here in Arizona, so thank you for that. You know, the good thing about no longer being vice president is you get to drive your own car. The bad part is you get to pay for your own gas. But Karrin and I learned a very sublime truth. This is really true, Doug, after leaving office. And that is that you can be the congressman from your home state for 12 years. You can be the governor of the state that you love for 4. You can even be Vice President of the United States of America. But when it's all over, you're still going to wait 25 minutes for a table at Olive Garden on Saturday night at 7 o'clock. It happened. I sent a letter, I sent a text to my daughter when it happened. True. I said, we just waited outside on the sidewalk, and she just said to me, "That's America, Dad." And you know what? She's right. But it's great to be with all of you, but especially great to be here with, frankly, one of the best and most accomplished conservative governors in the United States of America, Governor Doug Ducey. Thank you for 8 years of leadership. I mean, I love to say it, I was for Doug Ducey before it was cool. I met him back when he was selling ice cream. And boy, I knew he would be a governor of great consequence. And you think about this record. I mean, Arizona is booming. This economy is unstoppable. 400,000 new jobs since 2015, and it didn't just happen. Governor Ducey, with your support, cut taxes, rolled back regulation, cracked down on crime at the border. He promoted civics education, supported our veterans, strengthened election integrity, and created the first universal educational choice program in the history of the United States. Would you join me in thanking Governor Doug Ducey for 8 years that have changed Arizona for the better? And after 8 years at the helm, there's no doubt the next governor of Arizona has got big shoes to fill. But your governor knows what I know, and what I can tell all of you know. There is only one candidate in this race who will be ready on day one to lead Arizona even to greater heights, and that's Karrin Taylor Robson. Karrin Taylor Robson, as you all know, with that enthusiastic welcome. She's going to keep Arizona growing. She's going to secure the border. She's going to empower parents, create even better schools all across this state. And she's going to defend all the God-given liberties enshrined in the Constitution of the United States and of the great state of Arizona. She's going to do all the things and apply the principles your governor has done, and she's going to do just like we did with Arizona's support for all 4 years of the Trump-Pence administration. And I want to thank you. I want to thank Arizona for your support over those 4 years and for your prayers. I mean, think about all that we accomplished together. We achieved the lowest unemployment, the highest household income, the most energy production, the most pro-America trade deals, the most secure border, and the strongest military the world has ever known. And Karrin Taylor Robson was there every step of the way. Just like you've seen in Arizona the last 8 years, we revived the American economy by cutting taxes, rolling back regulation, created 7 million good-paying jobs. We became a net exporter of energy for the first time in 70 years. We held China accountable for years of trade abuses. We reduced illegal immigration by 90%. We confirmed more than 300 conservative judges, including Justice Neil Gorsuch, Justice Brett Kavanaugh, and Indiana's Justice Amy Coney Barrett. And every single day we stood for the sanctity of life, for religious liberty, and for all the values that have made this country great. But how times have changed. In 1 year of the Biden-Harris administration, we've seen the radical left in the saddle in Washington, D.C. They've unleashed a tidal wave of left-wing policies that have weakened America at home and abroad, created great hardship for American families. I mean, frankly, Democrats have moved so fast Sometimes I feel like the left hand doesn't know what the far left hand is doing. And think about it, though. I don't have to tell Arizona, right now we have the worst border crisis in the history of this country. Inflation's at a 40-year high. Gasoline prices are up 75%. New mothers are still struggling to get formula for their babies. Crime is skyrocketing in many of our cities. Our foreign adversaries like Russia and China have been emboldened by the weak and feckless policies of this administration abroad. Massive tax increases are on the horizon, and our children and our grandchildren are facing a mountain range of debt. Now more than ever, Arizona and America need strong, proven conservative leaders to fight back against the Biden-Harris administration. Arizona needs Karrin Taylor Robson in the State House for such a time as this. You've heard it already. I expect it's why you're here, but you got to say it again for anybody listening. Karrin's been a champion of the conservative movement her entire life. She served in the Reagan administration. She's helped elect dozens of conservative candidates all across Arizona and around the nation. And I can tell you firsthand, no one worked harder for the Trump-Pence ticket in 2016 or in 2020 than Karrin Taylor Robson. She volunteered. She helped raise millions of dollars for our campaign. When we needed Karrin, Karrin was always there. And Karrin knows what Arizona needs in the days ahead. She knows there's no greater threat to Arizona and to this country than the crisis on our southern border. After inheriting the most secure border in history, Joe Biden and the Democrats have unleashed the worst border crisis this state and this nation has ever seen. Karrin knows what it takes to secure our border once and for all. She'll deploy the National Guard. She'll work with other border states to share manpower and resources. And she's going to do what Joe Biden refuses to do. Karrin Taylor Robson will finish the wall on the southern border of Arizona. You know, that's probably why she's been endorsed by the Arizona Police Association, the Arizona State Troopers Association, and the heroes of the National Border Patrol. And with our economy struggling, Karrin Taylor Robson has the right prescription. Inflation at a 40-year high. Karrin's going to return a portion of that state budget surplus to the hardworking people of this state through even more tax relief. And she's going to follow the formula that we did, not just cutting taxes, but rolling back regulation. And Karrin Taylor Robson's going to keep Arizona booming. And she'll also build off the incredible progress, the groundbreaking progress in education made by Governor Ducey and his administration. She's going to protect universal school choice. You just heard her say the teachers' unions are already spoiling for a fight, and I guarantee you, Karrin Taylor Robson's going to defend the right of every parent to choose where their children go to school, regardless of their income or area code. She's going to push back, keep critical race theory out of our schools, and she's going to make sure our kids in school are taught to love their country and learn the great history and traditions of America. You know, it'd be enough just who she is for her to have your support in the upcoming primary and in this election. In her years in the conservative movement, her character, her proven leadership would be enough to vote for Karrin Taylor Robson in Arizona's August 2nd Republican primary. But you know, elections are about choices. And Karrin Taylor Robson is the clear conservative choice for Republicans in Arizona. When Karrin Taylor Robson, Doug Ducey, and I were battling against the Obama-Biden administration, Karrin's opponent was supporting Barack Obama. When I joined the ticket in 2016 to help Donald Trump win back America, Karrin's opponent was supporting Hillary Clinton. And as we all learned just this week, when Donald Trump and I were preparing for our inauguration in January of 2017, Karrin's opponent put on her Facebook page that our inauguration day would be a, quote, national day of mourning and protest. She actually encouraged people to not only join local protests, but boycott TV coverage and use the hashtag #NotMyPresident. Really, Carrie? Look, I'm always happy to welcome converts to the Republican cause. But Arizona Republicans don't need a governor that supported Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. You need a governor that supported every conservative cause from Ronald Reagan to Donald Trump. You need Karrin Taylor Robson in the State House. You know, these are very challenging times in the life of our nation. But everywhere I go, I'm more encouraged every day that help is on the way. The American people want change. Want our lives back. Want our prosperity back. They want our freedom back. They want their country back. And the good news is, it's already happening. You know, in the last election, we gained 15 seats in the Congress. We added 10 million more votes than we had gotten 4 years earlier. The highest vote total of any Republican ticket in history, and the highest proportion of African Americans and Hispanic voters in more than 60 years. But since 2020, in the past year, over 1 million voters nationwide have switched their voter registration to Republican. And in case you haven't noticed, in just the last few months, we elected a Republican governor in the blue state of Virginia. Three woke school board members were pushed out of office in San Francisco. And my personal favorite, a truck driver who ran against the Senate Majority Leader in New Jersey and only raised $150 for his campaign, half of which he spent at Dunkin' Donuts, defeated the leading Democrat in the State House in New Jersey. The comeback has started, Arizona. Now it's your turn. I mean, I'm more convinced than ever, seeing all your bright, shining faces. If all of us do all that we need to do in every day, between now and Election Day, if Republicans will nominate Karrin Taylor Robson to be our standard bearer in this election, I truly do believe that history awaits. I think this year could be bigger than 2010, the last time we retired Nancy Pelosi, and I'll tell you what, we're going to end Nancy Pelosi's speakership in 2022 once and for all. If you think about 2010, we got 63 seats in the House and put Nancy Pelosi's majority out to pasture. 2 years later, we won the Senate. A couple years after that, we won the White House. And we're going to do it all again starting in 2022, and Arizona's going to lead the way. So be encouraged. Leave here today, I want to challenge you to take the opportunity to remind all your neighbors and friends that even in these challenging times, we don't have to accept a future of economic decline and moral decay. We don't have to exchange the American dream for a socialist nightmare. We don't have to relegate our children to a future of cynicism, bitterness, and division. With the right leadership in the State House and with renewed Republican majorities in Washington, D.C., we can begin to lead this country back to everything that's always made it strong and great and good, and I know we will. I mean, Arizona has been blessed with strong conservative leadership that reflects that rugged individualism for which you are all known around the country and around the world. And you have a chance to renew it again. And the Grand Canyon State can continue to be a bastion of liberty, where people have the freedom to live, to work, to worship in the warm sunshine of Arizona. And truthfully, it really is about freedom. That's what Karrin Taylor Robson is fighting for. Now it's our turn to fight for her. Now, there are those who want to make this election about the past. Democrats in this state want Arizona to embrace the failed socialist policies advanced by the Biden-Harris administration. But Arizonans know that the future belongs to freedom. So let me say, when you get out and vote for Karrin Taylor Robson and this Republican team, you can say yes to a future of freedom for Arizona. You can say yes to our most cherished values of life and liberty. You can say yes to strong borders, safe streets, and great schools, a growing economy. And Arizona, make no mistake about it, when you get out and vote for Karrin Taylor Robson, you can send a deafening message that will be heard all across America that the Republican Party is the party of the future. So buckle up. Get ready. Time's a-wasting. Just a few short days left between now and primary election day, and then the real fight begins. I just encourage you all to continue to fight the good fight. Let's finish strong. And above all, keep the faith. Let's keep faith with the ideals of our founders enshrined in the Declaration and the Constitution. Keep faith with the generations of courageous Arizonans that built this state into an economic powerhouse and a bastion for liberty. And most of all, let's keep faith with every one of our countrymen who know in their heart that the sun is not setting on the land of the free and the home of the brave. And finally, let's keep faith with him who has ever guided this extraordinary experiment in freedom. And he guides us still today. Above the mantel of our home has, for more than 20 years, been a framed parchment that traveled to the governor's residence in Indianapolis. It traveled to the vice president's residence in Washington, and it's back in Indiana. It simply reads ancient words from the prophet Jeremiah that I think are words that every American of faith should cling to today. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. With faith in him and faith in freedom-loving Americans all across Arizona, I know that the best is yet to come for Arizona and America. So help us God. Thank you very much. God bless you. Now let's get out and nominate Karrin Taylor Robson as the next governor of the state of Arizona.